What up? What's going on? It's Friday. It is reloaded. Man, this is gonna be an episode, yo. This is gonna be some fun. Let's go, says Jake Ventura. Well, we are gonna get going. We've got a lot on today's plate. We're gonna have, to begin with, Mr. Carlson and the legendary one checking in here, Mr. Technical. We got Ed and Carlson. We're going to be on here very shortly. I'm going to send them the link. A couple things that I'm going to go over first beforehand, but another Armtillery Reloaded episode brought to you by Doobie Snacks. Really excited about tomorrow's super matches and practice. I'm going to go over a little bit of that, obviously, a little bit about how the rankings are going to work. And then we'll get Ed and Carlson in here. We'll talk about their match. We're going to have Stephen Milne on. We're going to have Dino Music on. We're going to have Ben Freeman on. We're going to have Octavian and Cambrell on. And we might even have Miguel and Carl on a little bit later if you stay tuned. Maybe some more special guests. Who knows who shows up? But nonetheless, it's going to be a good time. So let's get right into it. If you haven't, please share this on your Facebook, on your YouTube, whatever it is, your social media pages. I shared it on my Facebook. I put it in the So Strong link. Please go ahead and do it yourself, please. Hell yeah, let's go. The mother son team. I believe that's Mr. Steve West. Let's go, baby. All right. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to go ahead and email this link to myself real quick to make it a little bit easier later. Let's throw some biceps up in the chat. How y'all doing this fine evening? Who's got predictions for tomorrow? I want to see them. I want to hear them. All right. Let's get this over to myself. I wish I had some live music I could play on here. All right. All right, so let's fire that off the way, make that easy on myself. You tell those little ladies to listen. Edo clean sweep. Edo 3-2. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It has begun already. The spiciness. I love it. Who would have we thought to be the favorite in that match? You know, that'll be one of my questions for them tonight, just so y'all know. Okay. So we can get those guys on and rolling. So we can get shout out to TT. What's up, Kayla and Tim? Just so we can get the ball rolling tonight, we are going to be on a time crunch. We got a lot of guests, so I do want to keep it rolling. So I did talk about, we got 12 guests on. This is a perfect opportunity. I did talk about tonight how we're going to be rolling the rankings out going forward. Okay. I don't have any involvement. Shout outs to Louis B. I don't have any involvement in you having a match with somebody else. Okay. I can say that until I'm blue in the face. Okay. I don't have any involvement with you having a match with somebody else. If you would like a match with somebody else, this is how it goes. Let's say I'm interested in calling out Eric Wolf. I'm the number 3 guy and I want to call out Eric Wolf. Okay. So I'm going to text him or DM him, say, what's up, buddy? How you doing? How you feeling? Because I'm coming for that ass, boy. Okay. Make it playful. Do whatever you want to do. You can make it serious. Are you interested in a super match, sir? Either way, it's between you two. This is a man-on-man agreement. You are your own promoter. Okay. Make it easy. Okay. Now, there are going to be some rules and constituents that go along with that I'm going to break down. But for the most part, it's that easy. Once you two come up with a date and say, hey, I challenge you on this date. You know what? That date doesn't work. Okay, let's do it then. This, that. Okay, perfect. We come up with one. That's when you come to me and you say, hey, or I would come to the promoter and say, hey, me and Eric Wolf got it down. We're going to meet on April 20th. And we're going to have a best of 5 for the ranking spot, best or the number 2 out of 3, right? Okay. So let's say I want to call somebody out that's not in my weight class. Okay. Once again, I don't have anything to do with it. You're going to call that person. You're going to text that person. You're going to say, hey, when are you going to be down for a super match? I really want to test myself against you. Okay. Now, the only time I get involved is 1, when you set a date, or 2, if you need a referee. Okay. You like that? That date use maybe was purposeful, but no. So if you need a referee, that's a different question. If you're asking my personal and humble opinion, that's another question. But phrase it as so, say it like so that I know that you're not looking at me as if I'm Vince McMahon and that you're one of my wrestlers in the WWE. You guys like that the Vince reference? Okay. But does that make sense? You perfect. Thank you, Steve. Self-accountability at its finest. Hold them to it. Okay. So now let's say you're not on the list. Let's say you're a newbie. Let's say you're not someone who's around too often. We don't know your deal, your situation, you're injured, whatever it may be. To challenge to get back on the list, it's real simple. You just got to challenge somebody that you see fit, that you think you can beat on that list. They have to agree. Once again, you two come up with it. And then after that match is over and done with, then we will put you on the list. Now, if you win, you take that person's spot if you're not on the list. Listen, if you're not on the list, you beat that person, you take their spot. Real simple. Okay. You're not on the list, you arm wrestle that person and you lose, you go to the bottom of that weight class's list and you work your way back up as you go. Now, it doesn't mean you can't challenge the guy who's right underneath that guy or that guy again, if you see fit, whatever, but you don't get to, if you lose that match, go right underneath that guy. That's not how it works. Okay. So in order to get your name on the spot that you want, you got to beat the guy. Just to get on the list, you just got to have a match in that weight class. Okay. You have a 3-pound clothing weight limit when it comes to these matches. Tomorrow, your weigh-ins will be at 130. You've got 3 pounds if you're weighing your shoes and your clothes. Okay. Then the matches won't start until 2:30. So you got an hour. Okay. Go stuff face full of burritos. Okay. If you win or you lose in your spot, just in general, let's say you're both on the list. I challenge the number 6 guy and I'm the number 8 guy. I win. It's real easy. I go to number 6. They drop to number 7. It's not a switching of spots. That person just drops a spot. So if there are 9 guys on the list and you lose to someone on that list, you become the number 10 on that list. Potentially if you weren't on the list. But now the scenario of 2 guys that are on the list challenging for a spot, like I just said, if I'm challenging for the number, let's say I'm challenging for the number 4 spot and I'm the number 5, or I'm sorry, I'm the number 6. Okay. I go and I challenge the number 4 and I lose. I stick to my spot. He stays in his spot. Okay. But if I win, we don't just switch spots. Okay. I go up, they drop down 1. Okay. So there is going to be a lot of movement and it does, motivate for challenges and a lot of people wanting to get in the mix. Okay. So what else do we got to go over? Super matches that are canceled. Let's say we have, like, for instance, this weekend, we've had a few instances where people can't make the super match, sick plans, whatever it may be. Look, once again, you go back to square one. You two got to reset a date, and that's when you can get me involved. You can ask me if I'm reffing. You can ask me if I'm able to, but you can't be upset if I can't, and we have these things already set in play, okay? Let's see. Which brings me into, I'll say this now. This weekend, tomorrow, the super matches will be the last super matches that I will be a part of refereeing or hosting or competing in until after March. Okay. I will say that again. Please repeat this to everybody that you hear. This is why this is important. Does this mean that super matches can't happen? Absolutely not. If you can find a referee, you can make it work out. Everything's legitimized. It's on record. All that good. I'm not worried about it. Just send me the results. But as far as me refereeing anything, I have something going on February 10th, so I'm not going to be able to make that weekend. And then after that weekend, I will be resting for the Battle of the Brave. So I will not be involved in anything. Okay. March 2nd is the first weekend of March, and it is the Battle of the Brave event. I will be competing. I will then be resting another 2 weeks after that until I go out to Vegas with a few of the buddies to compete in that tournament. Okay. March 16th is that weekend. I'm guessing I'm going to feel pretty beat up, and I won't do anything the following weekend. So it would be the next following weekend after that, which I believe is the last weekend in March. Okay. So you're not seeing anything from me until about March. So, I mean, once again, I don't want that to put anything on pause. If you have something that you got to push back, you have a super match that was scheduled and now we got to keep it moving, please make it work. But just, I will not be there. Okay. Now, we are going to set a rule, make a rule for the number one spot and the number one spot only. And see, there you go. The last weekend in March is Easter. So everyone's going to be busy. Okay. So realistically, you're looking at about April before we can do any super matches at my house or with me. Okay. Charge for the number one spot. Okay. So if you are charging, or I'm sorry, excuse me. If you are challenging the number one spot guy, $250 is the minimum charge to challenge for that spot. When you look at the number one spots in all of the rankings for the most part. Now, there's going to be a big update coming this weekend that I've got to change some of the lower weight classes, the 176 and the 165s, I think. But when you look at almost all the weight classes, you've got people who are so dominant in their weight class that there's nobody going to be challenging them anytime soon other than the other number ones in other weight classes. Okay. With that also being said, I don't want to have anything to do with those matches. You've got Dustin Allen, Wayne Arsenault, Miguel Ortega, Tim Talmadge, Eric Wolf, Joseph Moranto, Aaron Blevins. These are the highest of the high in the state. They deserve to be put on a pedestal. They do not deserve to have a super match in my front driveway for a number one spot. Okay. Now, if you, once again, the number 7 and the number 8 come up with a super match and they're like, we're doing this for $1,000. Well, that's between you two. Okay. That's the purse that you two came up with. That's the number that you two came up with. No big deal, but that's only between you two to set the incentive. But when it comes to the number one spot of the state, that should be held to a little bit more of a, on a pedestal, if you will. So I don't want that to be, I don't want to do that here. That should be at a legitimized event. That should be at a big event. That should be a super match at Arizona State. That should be at something along those lines. And I'm sure Tim wouldn't mind those constituents if I were to talk to him ahead of time, right? Very similar to like what we're doing with the super match we're going to talk about tonight. If you didn't know, Miguel Ortega is going to be taking on Carl Gerke at the Battle of the Brave East versus West qualifier March 2nd as a intro into the tournament. It's going to be the best of 5, I believe, and it's going to be right-handed. Now, I do believe we're going to have both these gentlemen on later tonight to talk about it. But once again, this is a great example. That's when you get the hype. That's when you get the good video. That's when you get the everything behind it. I would prefer that. I would, and if I end up refereeing and that's in the case, that's great. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying these super matches, for instance, that we're doing tomorrow, these are a trial to what we can be. Another part with that. Obviously, I'm going to update the rankings on Sunday after the matches tomorrow. 2 p.m. they'll be up. But this will most likely be one of the last big super match events that we have at my house. Okay. Just to make sure that everything goes kosher, I think it would probably be smarter to do it like a park or a Ramada or something. I mean, you got motherfucking John Carlson talking about he's bringing his whole posse, 10 people with him, all this kind of stuff. Like, my house is not that big, first and foremost. When I have so many people, I have to play bathroom checker and water getter the entire time, which is not what I want to do. You know, tomorrow I understand that we're under certain parameters, but we're going to do the best we can for the space that we have tomorrow. So please bear with me. So with that being said, before we get these guys on, I got about a minute for tomorrow. We are going to run over the match order real quick, and we're going to run over what weigh-ins look like tomorrow. Okay. So if you have a match tomorrow, what it's going to look like is you are going to come between 1:30 and 2:30. Northern New York, USA here watching Arm Wrestling is one word. Let's go. I love that. Okay, so tomorrow between 1:30 and 2:25, you have to weigh in, okay? I have a scale. You'll just come to me. I'll write your weight down, and then I will compare it to your competitor. Okay, we will make sure everything is hand in hand. We should start holding them at a local park. Just an idea. Love that, Clayton. So as long as everything's kosher, both opponents agree, we're moving forward. Okay. My scale is brand new and calibrated, so don't worry about it. If you are over the 3-pound limit, I'm a mediator. Okay. You guys want to fucking argue about it? You guys want to, whatever you want to do that on the driveway outside away from me. Okay. I don't care. I'm just the guy that writes it down and organizes it. Okay. Thank you. All right. So, okay. After weigh-ins are done, match order. Here we go. You guys ready? Here we go. Here we go. Where the hell is it? Okay. Match order. Left-handed, starting. Steven and Dino. Left-handed, best of 5. Moving on to Mike, Mikhail, and Cody Addison. Left-handed, best of 5. Moving on to Octavian versus Cam. Left-handed, best of 5. Okay? We take a break. Small break. Move on to right hand. We move on to Jesus versus John, right-handed. First to kick off the right hands. John settling them laws. Okay. First of the right hands, Jesus versus John Carlson. Then we move on to good old Johnny versus Nathan Brown. I didn't know if you know, but now you know. Good old 242 match just added last minute. Zani versus Nathan Brown. It's going to be a barn burner. Get to those straps, Johnny. That's going to be right-handed best of 5. Then we're going to move on to Mikhail versus Cody, right-handed best of 5. If you set a ranking match and you both show up and one guy doesn't make weight, that should be a loss. I totally agree. Mike versus Cody, right-handed. Then you got Ben versus Steven, right-handed. Then you got Edo. Okay, so after Ben versus Steven, right-handed, we're going to take a nice little small break, like 2-3 minutes. Switch the elbow pads, make sure everybody's ready. And then we're going to do Edo versus John Carlson, left-handed. And then the main event is going to be Marcus versus Juggernaut, left-handed. And that one's for $2,000. Okay. So if you need me to repeat that, I'll do it again at the very end. Brian Johnson, I'm subscribed, but I'm new. What state are you in? AZ, baby. Let's go. AZ Arm Wrestling. Okay. So I'm going to repeat that order again at the very end. I'll do it one more time. Steven versus Dino, left-handed. Mike versus Cody, left-handed. Octavian versus Cam, left-handed. Move on to the right-handed. Jesus versus John. Johnny versus Nathan. Mike versus Cody. Ben versus Steven. Go back to the left hand. Edo versus John. And then we're going Marcus versus Juggernaut, Reagan. Okay. So that's your order. I'll go over it again at the end. I will post it tonight before I get off. So everybody is aware. Okay. Now let's get these guys on here. What do you say? Now I got to share this link real quick with these two guys that everybody knows. And everybody's very excited to see Paul tomorrow. And let's see if you guys can guess who it is. Oh, well, there you go. Well, let's get a few of these guys in here. I'm going to send it to him anyways. What do you say, guys? All right. So we'll wait for a couple of these guys to get in. It's a good guess, Jake. We'll wait for a couple of these guys to get in. We'll talk a little bit about it. We'll talk some strategy. We'll talk some predictions. And we'll get it going. If anybody has problems with the link, let me know. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the man from Arm Sports Entertainment himself. Ooh, what's up, Daddy?
What's going on?
Oh, maybe that's me. I can barely hear you.
Oh, hold up. How's that?
I think that's good. How's life, man?
Good. Good.
How was your daddy-daughter date?
Perfect. Perfect.
That's
It was
what
a
I'm
little
talking
cold. It was a little cold. We cut it short, but it was all right.
It is cold, man. It's windy. That rain brought a draft, and I got to be up tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning for Gilbert Farmers Market, and I'm not excited about it.
Yeah, no, it's the wind that's killing me.
Yeah, for sure. So, what do you think? What do you think about this number one spot challenging for a $250 charge? You like that?
Yeah, I mean it's no different than other states, right? So you literally, say who's the 242 guy? Wayne?
Yeah, number one is Wayne.
Say I wanted Wayne. I gotta pay him $250 to have the match. That's how it is, and that's how it is most places.
Yeah,
Um, and it's also you're not allowed to challenge for the number one spot unless you're the number two guy. So it makes people work their way up, right? So you're not the number six guy and just going, I want number one. It's not how it works. You gotta play the picking order. You know what I'm saying? It's not go after a couple guys. Get a match in there. Eventually, you can go for the number two spot.
yeah,
And then you work your way up. It's no different than Ultimate Fighter, all that shit. You're not the contender yet.
yeah.
Um,
That's
and so and plus a lot of these people have things going on to where they're not just gonna be doing it all the time with these number 4, 5, 8, 12 guys.
yeah.
So it just makes sense. It to me it makes sense. I don't know.
No, definitely. Legendary
What
Vulcan,
what are we
ladies and
what are we
gentlemen.
what are we talking about?
We are talking about the fee for challenging for the first place spot. What did you think about that idea?
I think if you're first place, you're probably gonna have a prerequisite of, hey, we're put some money on because let's say if Tim is number one and you have all these guys challenging to a match and he's just like, he's gonna have to feel obligated without some sort of rule.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he drops, right?
Well, yeah, and I think that's the whole point is you kind of like Tim had just mentioned, working your way up. He also had mentioned something that I didn't even think about, which is you can't challenge the number one unless you're the number two.
I don't know about that.
But the only thing I don't like about that is styles make matches. I would say you have to be in the top 5 in order to challenge for the top one.
Yeah,
You can't
because
be,
maybe you can beat one guy, but you can't beat another guy because you got a hooker and a top roller.
yeah, but
Yeah,
at the
but I'm
same,
not I'm not just saying you can't. I mean, I'm saying like
What
you
are you
should give
saying?
that number two guy or three guy a chance first
right,
over that, right? So like say I'm number 5 and you're number 3 or 2, like I should at least have to go against you first. Even if I lose to you,
yeah,
I'm
Well, that
not
makes
saying
sense.
you
Yeah,
don't get that match,
you get
but
priority.
you're not just gonna hop into the top 5 and skip everybody every time.
yeah, no, for sure,
It's that's just not realistic,
right, yeah,
And not saying again that number 2 or 3 guy shouldn't be number 1. Maybe that number 1 guy just had a good day, But at
Right.
the end of the day, a lot's going to tell. Like, okay, so say I'm number 3 and I go against, say, Eric's number 2, Edo's number 1. And say I go against Eric and Eric beats me and I'm number 3, he's number 2. Well, then Eric should just turn around and go against the number 1.
Right. The only
It shouldn't
thing
be.
is, there's going to be a lot of. I've talked about this before, but there's going to be a lot of repeats, like a lot of things that we just don't want to continue to see, especially if styles make matches. And number 2 is there's such a big gap between the 1 and the 2 guy and the number 3 guy in almost every weight class. When you look at the main 3 or the main 1 and 2, the 3 guy and the 4 guy are so far away that I highly doubt you're going to see those challenges very often. I think more or less what you're going to see happen is you're going to see people outside of their weight classes decide that they want to drop some weight, gain some weight, and challenge the bigger, heavier guy and go for a new weight class as number 1 in some form or fashion.
Yeah, I mean it's no, and again, in my opinion, say I'm in the 220s and I want to go to 98 and I want to pull the number 1 guy, I gotta pay him, even if I'm ranked number 1 in a different class. That's not my class. I gotta pay him.
Well, the challenge, yeah, for sure. Because
But
the
I
challenge,
should have to go against the number 2 or 3 guy first before I can even pull him, in my opinion.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't really care as long as I like that match, as long as I think it makes sense, one
Yeah.
for one, number 1 for 1. I mean, I'm not too worried about it. But Ed, I tried to get your buddy on here. It seems like Carlson is stuck in a blizzard storm on his way here.
Holy
So
moly!
I
Well,
do not.
hopefully he makes it tomorrow.
Yeah, I do not want him driving and trying to live at the same time. So we are a one-man show for your match today. It looks
All
like.
right, it's going to be a little bit more of a tame show today, then.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Maybe that's for the better, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I asked
You mean Aaron's not coming on?
no, John Carlson.
I know.
Oh, can we invite Aaron Barden?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that spiciness was fun, huh?
Yeah.
So at the very beginning of the live, I mean, when you look at what the chat said, I don't know who to believe who's the favorite in your match, Ed.
I don't know. I looked at all the videos of John Carlson left-handed. He doesn't really lose all that much. He doesn't. But
He
then
doesn't-
again, he really didn't really have matches with anyone that's really all that great, except maybe Tim Lewis. And I think Tim Lewis kind of sucks anyway. I really don't think Tim is that good.
And Tim did make an adjustment and came back and ended up beating him after the first round,
Mhm.
which when you look at Tim Lewis's matches, he usually loses the first round.
Who won that? Did Tim win or John win?
Well, it was in the Vegas tournament, and the first time they met, John flashed him, and then they met again in the finals, and Tim won.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm. I think Tim
I
has 2 wins on him.
pulled them both, and I wouldn't think that would have happened.
Yeah, you've pulled John left-handed.
Yeah, I smashed John and Tim left-handed.
Yeah, and John, I would say,
Which I won't say that. I won't say that. Me and John have never met in like a tournament or I mean just on the practice table. So
right.
I won't say that. But I mean, what I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my 2 cents on this match, because I've practiced with Edo and I practiced with John. I think that if Edo can keep his hand flat, I think Edo has a great shot.
Yeah.
I think that turns into a hook is where John wants to go, and that could be a long day for Edo. So I think if he can keep him out of that hook and pronating out and keeping him flat, so he tries to hook and you roll him this way.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the favorite for Edo.
Yeah, I think when you look at the style of John, he kind of pulls both right-handed and left-handed very similar. It's a shoulder roll coming forward. A lot of
his first thing is he does this first. No elbow movement, just this.
Yeah, and he usually stays with his shoulder. He's not, and he even sometimes get out of it when he's coming down. He doesn't usually stay real tight inside. So I think the move is, I mean, when you look at how I beat him at Arizona State with a low hand, I just had to get him outside his shoulder. As long as his hand was
Yeah.
outside his shoulder, he was just going flat wristed every time he would go towards me.
Yeah.
And I even think you probably, I can't imagine you're going to have, I think he's going to have the hand advantage, and I think you're going to have the strap advantage.
I don't know how his hand compares to Steve's hand, because Steve's hand is pretty strong.
I remember pulling John Carlson one time left-handed, and that was the only thing I remember about him was his hand was. I was like, damn. And then we pulled right-handed. I was like, you're not even the same dude. It's crazy, but his left hand is really good. His left hand is
That's
really
what I was saying. That's what I was saying. He's got to contain the hand to win. My focus would be containing his hand and then getting to your spot before he gets to his spot. Before he sucks down in kind of that hook press type of move. You really got to just come, back and out. Not in, just straight right here, just a little bit, and
Yeah.
come back. And even if you let him hit into his press and you go with it, but turn your body like this, I think that's going to separate him. And as soon as he's separated, again, he'll do that desperation. He'll flop after that.
Yeah.
But as long as he's separated and not behind his body, you'll be fine.
Edo, what did you have a plan coming into this specifically?
Yeah, I have a couple plans. Obviously, the first plan is low hand top roll. I can go here. I can hold it, or I can choose to just attack him. I don't see a lot of matches where he has a long, drawn out match. So I might just hold him if he wants to just keep holding.
Yeah.
And just see what he does.
Yeah.
Or if I feel like I'm like, oh shit, if I have like an oh shit moment, like with Steve, right? I'm gripping up with him, and he's loading up back. He's just like this, and I'm like, oh shit, I can't. This is it's too much. So I'm just gonna slip. I might just do that.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're going to have a problem getting to the straps with him?
No, I don't have a problem with getting to the straps to anybody.
And then do you feel like you're
Anybody?
Anybody, even Mr. Armstrong. Oh, I don't have a match with you ever.
And do you feel like you're going to take advantage once the straps?
I don't see him ever having matches in straps.
Me neither.
So I would like to see that.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do too. I think that's going to be a key factor. I really do.
I don't even train that much in straps, honestly. Like just recently, I just had 2 practices this week where I just trained just in straps.
Yeah.
I should train a little bit more because it seems to work for me.
Yeah, yeah. And then question, is this not for rankings?
He's going to be 215 for Tim Lewis. I'm going to be like 220.
Okay.
But not really all that much over 220. So it might be a good ranking match for 220 left.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. As far as ranking.
Yeah, that goes. Once again, if you didn't know, at the Battle of the Brave, if you compete left-handed, I'm going to take that data and I'm going to filter it in and make a copycat version of the right, but left-handed for the left-handed rankings. So that will begin sometime mid-March. Got a lot going on, so bear with me. It might not come out sometime until the later half or April, but at least you guys will get one. So Edo, smart move for sure against Carlson. I think Ed should try slow him down before he commits early.
I mean, one thing I can also do is because he's so quick off the go with that roll, I can also load side pressure and pronation and just kind of stop that where I don't hit and I'm just kind of like going like this.
Yeah.
And that might be good too.
Now, if you win on the left, Edo, what does that mean for your left? Is that like a milestone or accomplishment that you look at, or is this just another day?
I don't think so, because I don't think we really know how good Carlson really is.
I think it's very true.
We really don't know. I mean, he could be better than Ron for all we know. We just don't know.
Yeah. Tim, how do you think it goes tomorrow? A full count.
Best of 5?
Yeah.
3-1 Edo. I
lose one. What?
I think he might flash you on one. I think he might get caught.
Yeah, probably.
And he might shoulder roll you. But then after that, I think it wakes you up a little bit, and I think you out-technique him.
Yeah. No, I could definitely see that happening.
I usually don't get flashed, but he is pretty quick.
Yeah, what time is it? So I read these things start at 7:30 at night. Where am I going wrong?
Oh, no. So tomorrow the weigh-ins will begin at 1:30 for everybody, and then at 2:30 promptly, I'm going to get the first match started. I didn't realize we had so many left and right-handed matches. So I'm giving it about an hour and a half. So if you don't want to come for the matches and you just want to come for the practice, it'd be 4 p.m. for everybody that knows. But if you do want to come for the matches, we're going to get it started at 2:30. And Tim, I would love to have you.
Yeah, I've been on this thing since you started, but what's the order again?
So just so you're aware, Edo and John are going to be the co-main event. And then the main event is Marcus versus Reagan. Do you know who Reagan is, right, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they met at Arizona State, and Marcus beat him left-handed twice. They ended up coming together and put $2,000 on a left-handed match. So I am actually going to be coaching Marcus that day. So if you're available, Tim, I would love to maybe possibly have you, if I can buy you a bottle of whiskey, have you ref Edo versus John and maybe Marcus versus Juggernaut, and just those two matches, and those will be at the very, very end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where my time went. I was planning on being over there at like 7:00.
Oh, hell
so I have to talk and figure that out. Now that still might be okay.
Okay. Well, keep me
I
in the
should be
loop,
able
let
to
me
pull.
know.
I'm gonna bring my son so he can rip on some of everybody's arms and show him.
Dude, how did that go? What was that like, seeing him just crush?
That's his third state championship. So he's won Colorado State, he's won California State, and now Illinois State.
What?
Yeah,
Little prodigy.
yeah, he's doing good. He's getting there. So
Okay, and how old is he? Oh, Jonah, right?
Yeah, he's 14.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So yeah, he's getting there.
Does he train for it, or is he just kind of practice and show up to tournaments?
Yeah, we have the table out back that me and him just do. Like you know me, I don't really practice at all, and I've been so busy, and I've been trying to find a weight thing to actually do actual training. But we just pull back and forth in different positions all the time, and a lot of just speed training with bands. That's all we've been doing.
Okay.
So Tim, you don't even have like a plate loaded cable?
No, that's what I'm trying to find right now. I had one that connected to my table. It was shit.
Okay.
So I actually need a plate loaded thing. You know anybody selling one? Let me know.
Oh, well, that's
I
funny.
would reach out to Luis
Yeah, there we
Barrera.
go. I was about to say.
Okay. Yeah, I'll reach
Yeah.
out to Lewis and talk because I need one. So
This
and
guy
then,
right here,
Just a pen loader.
this guy right here might be the
Yeah.
one you might want to talk to.
yeah, just to pull, just I can sit behind my table and do all my lifts and everything, and then I can finally start my weekly little training practices here that I want to do. But I just haven't done it yet because I still can't find one for a decent price.
I'll literally have 2 pulleys with me tomorrow that I'm already selling to 2 other people that you can check out if you want.
Well, there we go.
Mr. Ben Freeman, the owner of Armed Combat, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Oh, wrong arm.
And not only that, but will be also joining us tonight to talk about his match.
Yes. Looking forward to that one.
Okay, so speaking of which, Steven just put in the group chat, this is your opponent here. It says, I'm trying to get on and I can't. The microphone on my
Yes.
phone to work. Give a country boy technology and boom, he's stupid. Give me a little bit. So, Edo.
What's up, man?
I'm going to end up getting Steve and Dino on here in a little bit. And when I do, I'm going to have to kick you off.
Please do.
But I'm interested to know your take on this Stephen Milne gentleman and his prowess into the scene. He's gained some weight. He looks really big and really strong, and he's taking on 2 people who you're very familiar with. So let's start with, obviously, Ben versus Stephen, and that's going to be right-handed.
Hey,
I
before
don't know
you go
anything.
on,
I don't know anything about Steven.
Before you go on, you need another spot. I'll just jump off until there's a certain person on here later that I want to see. So
Absolutely.
just text me when that little dipshit gets on here, and I'll get back on.
You got it. All right, bro.
All right, guys. Like.
Okay,
As far as
so
Steven, I don't, I don't know anything about him. I know he's big and he's tall, and but so is Ben. He's pretty big and he's pretty tall. I'd say Ben wins that one.
yeah,
Like,
I definitely think when it comes to ready go experience, when it comes to, we all know you can get very comfortable grabbing people a certain way when there is no referee, when there is no rules, and you get very used to being able to maybe cover thumb knuckles, get the kind of grip that you want.
yeah.
Ready goes, referees grips completely change that. I can only imagine that the hand is going to be maybe a little bit of a problem for Ben, because when I watched him versus Steve, he tended to give Steve some problems when they were in the same weight class, and we both know Steve's dominance is his hand. So could be a possibility that he has the hand control, but I do believe, and this is crazy to say, but I do believe Ben is going to have the strap advantage when he does get to it.
I would just get in the strap.
So I personally think that the match goes one of two ways. I think if Steven gets like solid behind his shoulder and presses down, it's going to be a long day for Ben. But I think that if Ben can stay and keep him center table outside his shoulder, and take the hand early enough, I do think that I don't think he's going to fight in a compromised position for too long. So that's the way that I see it going. Ben, do you have some strategy talk to us do you have plans on how you think this goes? Anything like that?
This one's a really tricky one for me because personally, I've seen a tiny bit of video on the guy, but not much, not the best angles and like certain things like that. I've had mixed information from different people on the guy. So I'm treating this like an out-of-state tournament, almost like a blind opponent. I'm just going to do what I know how to do best and focus on what I do and what I work on and
Right.
just hope that gets me through.
Okay. And then when we talk straps, not straps, what do you think about that? Do you think you hold the advantage? Do you think hand control lays with him? What do you think?
Again, this is complete blind guessing because I've never even felt the guy.
Yeah.
But I do know that I tend to be a bit stronger in the straps. So if I have any kind of problems, that'll definitely be where I'm looking to go for. And I do know by trade, I believe the guy's a lumberjack, and there's certain guys by trade that tend to have really strong hands. And so who knows, this guy might just have massive, big, strong hands, and we'll see what I got to do with it.
Yeah, probably this motion, the rising,
Yeah.
sinking.
Well, and that's why I think it's so interesting, his style. He hasn't been in arm wrestling for too long and already is going towards a flop press behind the shoulder style. And it's harsh on the elbow.
I'm not sure if from the videos I was looking at, I was seeing him doing that. But again,
really?
it's also a while back. It's specifically Arm Wrestling Showcase's video of the USAA.
Yeah.
It's Scottsdale Games.
Yeah.
He had a match with Steve twice, but one of them wasn't on tape. Mata, Jesus, and Ron Flanick. And
What did he do?
Like he was going like outside, kind of standard, typical. Nothing. I didn't look too inside to me from what I seen. But that doesn't mean that's not what he's doing now. I mean, that was almost a year ago at this point. That was like September last year.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, maybe not a year, like
Well,
6
and
months.
that could be left-handed. I'm not sure.
That's another thing.
Which we've seen him pull both. And he does have a left-handed match tomorrow against a certain somebody called the Arm Wrestling Showcase, a.k.a. Dino Muslik.
I was about to say, we getting the
And we got him linked up, baby. Brother for brother. Let's go.
What's going on, guys? How you
Like
doing?
the Brady Bunch in here.
some big forearms.
Man, I really want to get your guys' opponent in here. You are looking jacked, Dino. Straight
I'm
jacked,
ready.
sir.
I'm ready, man.
So we getting
How you
any
feeling?
closer to a connection with Steven there?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting for. Oh, well, it says right here. It's telling me to update my browser settings to use my microphone. Allow access, maybe.
So just use your camera in sign language.
Yeah, there
Ben,
you
how
go.
tall is Steven?
Well, Steven, if you
You
can,
asked me how tall he is. I don't know.
yeah,
Oh.
Steven, if you're watching, please, if you can't get on, at least engage with us in the chat and answer some questions for us. We'd love to have you on if you can try to figure it out. You just got to hold down the link, open in new browser, get it going. It gives me my video, not my microphone. Well, Scott West seemed to have had the same issue. Well, try get on here. We'll see if we can work with it. You do it together, Steve. But Dino left-handed against this Goliath of a lumberjack. It seems that the left-handed makes a lot of sense because why don't you tell us what's going on with your right?
Yeah, so the right one, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even know what the hell is going on with the right. I mean, I had some ulnar damage here, and then I healed up. I mean, I didn't arm wrestle for straight 30 days, and then I felt perfectly fine. And then, I mean, I don't know what it is, if it's switching to hooking for the last year or what the hell it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, for the last like 6 months, like I feel good, and then I get this nerve that just shoots up here, and I can't really apply power. I can't do anything. Plus, it didn't help that I had a match with Ado's guy, his student Tim, who's a freaking animal. That guy is super strong. I really didn't think he was that strong. He was crazy strong, and I think I took some damage in that match. And what happens now is, and I practiced with Ado and Ben too. But what happens is, like, when I'm here, I get this weird nerve. It just shoots up through my elbow, and I can't do anything, and I have to do like a slow release on my right. I don't know.
Now, is it flare up more when you do a pronation versus a supination movement?
On my right, it's that's a good question. I think more pronation. I think on right, I'm more. I don't know. That's a good point. I never really noticed. I just know it's extremely painful. So I don't.
Yeah.
So basically, the plan is right now, before East versus West, I'm not doing any real practices on the right. I'm gonna just rest it. Just do the arm wrestling specific training for it.
Yeah.
On my left, either way, my left is the strong one. So my right is kind of the party arm now, and the left one is the strong one.
Gotcha. Well, obviously, the reason why I say something is because my scenario, I deal with seems like very similar to the same pains and the same issues. Yeah. And the reason why I say this is it would be I'd be hard pressed to bet that you are dealing with something that doesn't have to do with the arm. I would bet you it is something that is coming from the back, the neck, the shoulder, something along those lines that's not allowing the blood to go to the areas that it needs to correctly, forcing the tendons, the ligaments to kind of act a certain way, hurt, put you in excruciating types pains when you really are doing little to nothing. So I would start there, start with, getting some. I posted them on my Facebook. If anybody has these kind of problems, go to Steven Hernandez Global Chiropractic, because your first time, your new patient special, he gives you an x-ray. He takes an x-ray of your spine and everything. And I was able to see that my C4 and my C5 were degenerating through my posture. And it allowed me to get some answers as far as to why I'm having these pains and these pinched nerves. Probably going to be reoccurring, probably going to be something that I'll continue to deal with until I fix this. But nonetheless, it allows me to know at least that it's not my arm that is the problem. There's no damage done to my arm, because the period in which I am feeling great, I feel like I could fucking beat Eric Wolf. I'm so goddamn strong. But then when I'm in the most pain ever, it's like I can lose to Omar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I totally understand what you're saying. Shout out to Omar Rivera. Shout out to Eric Wolf. Just posted a pic of Steven next to me and Steven on the So Strong chat.
Oh, I'll have to.
For height purposes.
Yes, because I've heard he's 6'5", but I mean.
He's a big motherfucker. That's what he is.
I'm 6'3", so
Yeah,
it's
he's
bigger
got
than
some
me.
strong wins. I checked
Oh, yeah,
him out
he's-
on
he's
air.
pretty
He's
big.
got some big wins.
Okay, Steven, you got stuck in the chat. Steven, how tall are you? What is your dominant arm, left or right? Do you feel like you are a better in the straps or out of the straps? And what is your prediction on both of these matches? Obviously, you're feeling confident.
Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah, he's a big dude. So, Dino, left-handed. Would you say you prefer straps or no straps?
I can go either one. Whatever position, I'm fine. So
I love it.
whatever happens, I'm good.
And are you planning on top rolling this this big
Who
monstrosity?
knows? Who knows? That's a secret. We'll find out tomorrow. So we'll
I
find
love
out
it.
tomorrow. But yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
That's what I was thinking when I first came on. I'm like, he asked me to give up all the good shit.
Hey, but there's less than 24 hours. There's nothing that
Oh,
he
that's
can
true.
do.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, mentally he can prepare a
Just
little
say
bit.
what you're not going to do, and then say you're going to do that.
There you go. But that's why I do this on Fridays, because usually something's going to happen the next day on a Saturday as far as a practice or an event or a match goes, and the work is already done. You can't get any stronger from tonight to tomorrow, but you can at least fuck with the guy a little bit. You know what I mean? So
for sure. I mean, we don't have a lot of, like Ada was saying earlier, we don't have a lot of data on Steven. I mean, we just kind of came out of nowhere, but he's he's had those last 2 tournaments and he's got some strong wins in there. So obviously, being a 6'5" guy, he's gonna top roll. He also has some crazy King's move or King's hook that I saw in the practice video. So that's probably going to be very troublesome.
Okay, so I'm not hallucinating, because I got one person that gave me advice on him and told me he was a King's mover, and John told me he was a presser. And I'm like, that could not be the most opposite description of somebody. So that might actually be true, that he will both King's move or press.
yeah, I mean, who knows, man? Here's what it comes down to. You have a strong arm. I say this so much, I get in trouble for repeating myself, but you have a strong arm wrestler and then you have a good arm wrestler. And when you combine them, you have a great arm wrestler. But when you're stuck on this strong arm wrestler side, you will do so much wacky shit, like pressing when you don't know how, or King's moving when you don't even know that it is, because it's more of a desperation move than anything else, where you're basically straight and under the table. You'll do some wild stuff because you don't like losing and you don't like being the weaker guy and you're not used to it. And when arm wrestling comes into your life, every single one of us on this panel and all 18 of us that are watching, if you compete in it, can tell you it's the most humbling thing that you can be a part of.
100%.
You think you're strong? If you just think you're a strong human being, go to an arm wrestling practice. You will find out otherwise quickly.
We'll find out very quickly otherwise.
Yeah, Steven, you should try to press me on the left. I think with the long arm, I think you got a pretty good shot. Definitely, every round, try to press me. Maybe go crazy. See if you can beat my arm. Put me in a hook. Let's see what happens. I mean, or be a pussy in top roll. I mean, I don't know.
God damn it, Steven. Get your microphone to work. God damn it.
Man, like, it's feeling more inside.
And there is nobody. Do you guys mean Stefan? Maybe it is Stefan. Once again, how are we supposed to know? Because we've never heard from this.
Probably is Stefan. Hey, both Steven and Stefan, if you top roll, you're a pussy.
One strong-armed Terminator. Terminator. We're gonna get Octavian on here in a little bit. Speaking of which, what time is it? Oh, it looks like it is past
one arm strongman Terminator, John.
Yes. So let's do this. Let's get the Octavian Terminator. Ben, Big Ben, Dino.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me, man.
Steven, I'll see you tomorrow. Be prepared. I will be. You ain't taking my rank, at least not easily. Can't wait to see you. Thanks for having me. Armed Combat. I'll see you guys later.
All right. I love it. I love it. Dino, any last words?
See you guys. Yeah. So make sure you guys check out, if you haven't, Arm Wrestling Showcase. Subscribe. We're almost there, guys. So we need about 10 more people, and we're at 1,000 subs. then we get reviewed to be monetized. So I would appreciate it if everybody on here, if you haven't, make sure you guys subscribe on there. So 10 more. So let me put, so arm wrestling. I'll put that in the showcase. Yeah,
I'm
so
looking
make
at
sure you guys
I'm looking
check
at
them out.
Steven's match right now with Steven. Big Steven seems to be gripping kind of low.
Yeah.
Yeah, try it. Yeah,
Yeah,
grip low.
Try it, huh?
great. Grip low and straight to the side.
100%. That's the best way if you want to prove you're a man. Is you go straight to the side. You try to go through the arm, not through the hand. I mean, that's just
You
my
might be careful what you wish for. That's a big boy.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like we said, we don't have a lot of data on him, so either we're within 10-20%. He might just be crazy strong, but on the left, I highly doubt it. So we'll see.
I love it, man. I love your confidence. And I also love, just like me, my warrior brother in spirit who just gets fucking crazy right before his match. I can't wait to see it, Dino. Bring the nose slap, baby.
I'm bringing it back, man. I'm bringing going fucking crazy. No more being calm, relaxed.
That's what I'm talking about.
It doesn't do for me. Yours
That's
and
what
my
I'm talking
style,
about.
we go crazy. That's exactly what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Let's go, Dino.
It's so we're such opposites.
Yeah, you guys,
We
these
are
brothers,
Yeah,
brothers
I
could
like,
be
I
further
like
from
rage. Rage fuels me.
I like
straight up.
jokes.
I'm not a very angry person, so when I get to the table, I'm able to act like one. So I love it. All right, Dino. Well, thank you
Well,
very
guys,
much. We'll
thanks for
see you
having me.
tomorrow. Good luck. Get a good sleep.
See you guys.
All right, see you, John.
All right, Edo. We'll see you tomorrow, brother. My down ref for tomorrow. Always appreciative of him. It looks like we got an answer from Mr. Steven here. I'm 6'5", 255-ish. My best hand is my right hand, and I have gotten hit by a drunk driver a few years ago back, so I have some damage on my left, but I'm super strong on my left, and I use the press. Okay, so there you go. And the Kings. Watch out. The King is coming. Woo! We got some real talk from Mr. Steven. I love it. That makes sense. That's why we've seen a couple different styles from him, going where he's comfortable and where it doesn't really hurt. Steven, I would love to work with you a little bit tomorrow, spend a little bit of time on the practice table with you and kind of go over some things that can make you even a better arm wrestler, because I love your attitude. I'm so glad that you came into our community, and I'm really excited to see you tomorrow perform. So get a good night's rest tonight. Sorry we couldn't have you on. We'll definitely make that a thing in the future. We'll make it work. Going forward, going into the next set of guys, we got one of the best left-handers, pound for pound in the state currently, Mr. Octavian Moisession. Did I say it right? Damn, come on. I thought I killed it too, man.
No, not quite.
Terminator, please say your last name for us.
Mosession.
Mosession. That's what I said.
No, you had an I in there somewhere.
Oh, okay. Mosession. Mosession.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's so good to have you on, my good friend, my brother. How you feeling today?
Good.
It's just habit, or it's just part of the show. You gotta show us a little bit. You gotta give us a little something once you fix your camera. Oh, there we go. Jeez, look at that forearm. I see the ripples.
Yeah.
How you feeling for your match tomorrow, man?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm not
Yeah?
worried.
Okay.
No.
You got a young buck challenging you.
I do. Yeah.
I just sent
Maybe I
him the
should be
link.
worried.
Yeah, I just sent him the link, so we're trying to get him on here. Let me tell him how to. All right, let's see if we can't help him. This might be him getting in right here. That is the man, the myth, the Cam himself, Cambro Callahan Jr., ladies and gentlemen. Throw him up, brother. Let's see him. Wow. Oh, man. Was that the left or the right?
That was my left.
Okay, perfect for tonight's live. How you feeling, man?
I feel good. I'm very confident. It's been I'm the strongest I've ever been. My wrist and fingers feel very strong. So
Yeah, I saw the other night you were doing some, or last night I feel like you were doing some fat grip pulls, like shrugs almost, on the barbell. How much weight was that?
265.
Wow. And you're telling me you're doing this a day before your super match.
Yeah.
Well, no. I'm thinking it's Friday. This is gonna be a few days because it's Saturday, but still. Same week of. I mean, you must be pretty confident. Octavian, you still with us, brother?
Yeah, I flipped my camera somehow. I'm really good at this.
So Cam, this will be the first time that we see you. This young kid is a beast, crazy potential, definitely. Now, what got you into arm wrestling? When did this journey begin for you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Um, so I got into arm wrestling because I saw a few videos of Larry Wheels,
Oh, okay.
and I got more interested, and I just started like training. I had a little pulley system I made, just
Oh,
train
okay.
with that, do like wrist curls. But I really started arm wrestling, not just training for arm wrestling,
Yeah.
up until like I want to say AZ State.
Okay. So July of last year.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Clayton Merrick, hey John, does Cody Addison have a match tomorrow? He does against Mikhail Urin, who is the big Ukrainian beard guy. Octavian will run through this kid, but I do respect you for the challenge, says Jake the Bully Ventura. Now, have you ever gripped up with Jake?
I have not.
Okay, okay. I didn't know whether or not Jake had ever traveled to Tucson and made the trip. But a couple of the guys that you got to feel when there was a practice with some of the Phoenix guys down there. Who'd you get to grab onto?
Robert.
Robert Radke,
Hmm.
sick left, crazy left,
Yeah. Crazy.
absolutely crazy. Anybody else from the Phoenix area?
Steve West.
Oh, okay, nice. Who I believe is in the chat. Steve, let's hear from you. What do you think? You think this kid's got a chance tomorrow with the number 2 and 155s? Octavian, I think we finally got him back.
All
There
right,
he
I
is.
have to see me.
Yeah, we can see you.
Turned my phone around. I couldn't figure out how to switch it back.
Okay, well, we can see you. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, well then that'll work. But we were just talking to him about kind of the people who he's grabbed since he's fairly new. He's began arm wrestling in AZ State as of last year, so that's July of last year. So about 6-7 months. Big Larry Wheels fan. Would you say Larry Wheels is your favorite arm wrestler? Do you have a favorite arm wrestler now, Cambrell?
Uh, Honestly, I like Ivan Marishenko. I love
Oh,
the way he pulls.
that's
I want to
interesting.
get his style.
That's very interesting because um, he's a young. I mean, he's an older cat. He's been around a long time. His style of hooking is not very popular amongst, especially younger generation, but very very powerful. Did we not grip up in Vegas last year, Cambrell? You didn't go to Vegas, did you?
I no.
I would only imagine at your age you did not go to Vegas. So. Um, so yeah, okay. So with you telling me that bit of information, I am guessing that you're a hooker. Your style is hook,
Yes.
which is tailor made for tomorrow. Because guess who also just happens to love supination and bicep control.
Me.
I'm guessing not.
Now I will say I've pulled with Octavian for quite some time now. Probably been a year now, Octavian, right? A little over a year or about a
A
year?
little over a year. Yeah.
Yeah. And when me and Octavian first met up, this is before I had my first right injury. And I took some time off on the right and pumpkined my left for a couple months. But before then, I couldn't do anything with Octavian. I couldn't get him. I couldn't get outside his hand, and I couldn't side pressure him enough to keep him center table. So it was just a slow losing battle for me as I would kind of open my bicep up. And then I started to put on some LBs. I started to pumpkin the left hand a little bit, and it now looks a little bit different, but I can tell you I still cannot get out of this guy's hand, which is incredible. It's not huge, it's not big, but it is a really, really solid hook. And it's good to know that you're not even going to attempt that lane, Cambrell, because I don't know, and I haven't seen too much data on you as far as well, I guess that's not true. I've seen plenty of super match stuff from you with some of your Tucson guys. I guess what I mean by that is I don't really know their level. I guess you could say left-handed. I don't pay too much attention to the left hand. But you and me did pull it to December 9th. I got to feel you press on me a little bit and stuff. But it was after you had pulled a little bit. It was definitely impressive for how long you've been pulling. But I can only imagine, and this is where we'll go from here, but that Octavian is going to have the strap advantage because of his experience in arm wrestling. Octavian, how long have you been arm wrestling?
About 6 years.
6 years. Now, before you moved to Arizona, weren't you with another, a different team out in a different state somewhere?
Yeah, in near Washington and Idaho, just kind of on that border.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And any names anybody would know of from when your older team, older squads?
Well, our trainer was Doug Goodman.
Okay, I've heard of him.
Yeah, he taught me most of what I know.
Very cool.
From before I came here. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, Octavian very much supinated on the bicep, has a lot of drag, very powerful. But, you know, have you ever thought, Octavian, about trying other styles, trying top rolls, trying other things? Now, the reason I say this is because your left, I've seen do presses alone on like machines with like significant amount of weight. You would think that could potentially be something that harnesses a press if able to. Have you ever tried some of these other moves other than this hook drag that you seem to have mastered?
I mean, I've been playing around with topping, but
okay.
I don't know. I think I topped against you a little bit in the last practice.
I think you did.
But it definitely isn't my default.
I love it. I love it. He loves to be a man, sit in the hook.
Yeah.
Let's see the chat. Some other Sun team, Steve West says, Cam is a great kid, tons of potential in the game. I have to give it to the experienced Puller and Octavian, but let it be a lesson, learn and grow. You don't learn a whole much from winning. So once again, Cam, if you do end up losing, make sure you learn every bit of it. Octavian was looking pretty strong at last week's practice. Good luck, sir. It should be a good one. That's Luis Barrera, the everyday arm wrestler. Well, Cam, it seems like we are under the impression you might have your hands full, brother.
Yeah, I mean, even if I do lose, this will be a great experience. Octavian, I look up to you like you,
thanks.
Like a legend, like very strong left.
Yes.
Even at AV State when you weren't doing your best, still look very strong. I saw your match, was it a few months ago against Levi, and even though Levi beat you, your bicep looks extremely strong. It's gonna be tough.
Levi even to this day speaks very highly of Octavian because I think Levi expected to come in and have a wash, and I remember the look on his face when that first bit of struggle when he got sucked in. He's like, "Oh no!" And it was one of the fucking coolest matches. I love that match. That was one of my favorite matches. Tell us a little bit about that match, Octavian. How that went for you?
Well, I actually really want a rematch with Levi. Because I just got into the gym that day, so I was not at my best.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Yeah, usually when I work out, I don't do anything strenuous for like 4 days
Yeah.
after that because I'm busy, so my workout style is lift heavy, lift hard until you can't.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I
So
wasn't
that'll
expecting
definitely
it.
affect you during the day of a match for sure.
We were told that it was canceled, and then it wasn't canceled, then it was.
Gotcha.
And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go work out.
Yeah.
And then
And
I was
like a
like, you know
warrior,
what?
still took the match anyways.
I'll go watch the match for fun. And then he's like, hey, you want to do it? I was like, sure. So
For
I
anybody
came
that
on.
doesn't know, this is Levi McKnight, who is, I believe, out of Louisiana, somewhere in the Midwest, nationally ranked, I think top 3, maybe top 5 in 155 in the national rankings. Right-handed. I don't know what his rank is left-handed, but a super solid puller. Came to Arizona. We were having some super matches that day anyways. He was in the state and he went up against Octavian, and it was a barn burner. Great match. I believe Legendary Balkans YouTube. You can check it out. Really good match. Well, gentlemen, I am super excited for your guys' match tomorrow. I think that Octavian obviously has the nod a little bit. I think that this will be a great opportunity for Cambrell to show his potential. So even in losing or winning, you have a lot that we can learn from you tomorrow. Spend a lot of time on that after pool practice table if you can. There's going to be a lot of people tomorrow, a lot of really strong lefts in the house. So that will be a good time. Octavian, any final predictions, any final last words before we move on?
No, I'm looking forward to what tomorrow brings, whether it's victory or not.
I love it. I love it. What's your final prediction for the count? Best of 5?
Me.
3-0?
5-0.
5-0. Okay. Well, it ends at 3, but I love your confidence. I love
Okay.
it. Cambrell, any last words, final predictions, anything like that?
I with Octavian's experience, I do want to win, but the chances are very unlikely. But I think it will be maybe 4-1.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I will say, make sure get a solid night's rest tonight. Tomorrow, eat a big, big, big breakfast. Are you're nowhere near your weight limit, are you?
No, I'm like 138.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Eat a big old breakfast, get nice and full. And then I wouldn't really stress too much about the weigh-ins. You could show up kind of when everyone else is showing up about 2 if you want. If you want to get there early, feel free. But keep your mind solid. Think positive thoughts.
Mhm.
I am like tomorrow. I'm really excited to see this match for left hands because we got so many left-handed matches tomorrow. I think this is going to be one of the better left-handed matches because you're both left-handed, so it's your strong arm. So I'm really excited.
What time does it start tomorrow?
So tomorrow's weigh-ins will be 1:30 p.m. The
Okay.
matches will get started at 2:30. So you've got an hour. If you're close to your weight limit or you want to push it, then you can weigh in at 1:30. Go get yourself a burrito or something, and you got an hour before we start. But 2:30 is when the matches will start. And then as far as how long it's going to last, we got 10 matches. But I believe you guys are in the first chunk of it, so you guys will be within the first hour. So,
Okay.
all right, boys, I appreciate you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Get a good night's rest. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow.
All right, boys.
All right.
All right. Now, the fun begins. Let's see who we can get back on here. Now we're going to try to get Mr. Carl Gerke and Mr. Miguel Ortega on here. Let's see what we can do. Carl. this link expires every time I send it out. So I got to go back to the email and copy it. It's annoying. But thank you, everybody, for sticking with us this far. 21, that's the most viewers we've had so far. Once again, if you haven't yet, share, like this video, subscribe to Armtillery. I appreciate you guys all. And please make sure to come tomorrow. It's going to be a great time. All right, I'm sending this off to Mr. Miguel. Ouch. Okay, see if we can't get Mr. Miguel in here.
I got caught up over here in downtown Phoenix at First Friday. Listen, bro, is there any possible way we can run this interview tomorrow night? I don't think I'm gonna be able to fucking slip out. I'm right here with a wife and shit, man. I honestly don't. I'm not gonna be able to slip out. Is it cool? I'm just letting you know. I'm letting you know right now ahead of time and shit.
Okay, well, Miguel is not going to make it. Miguel just sent me a sent me a message. He is not going to be on. It seems like I sent him the link, so maybe he clicks on, but he's at some festival with his wife and his lady. He's just telling me this now. So, but let's see if we can't get his opponent on here, Mr. Carl Gerke, because I did tell Carl. Carl is active now. Carl did see the link. There we go. Hold the link. Click. Open in new browser. Okay, well, we might have Tim back on. We're going to get Carl on here. It looks like Miguel is a maybe. We'll see. But nonetheless, if you guys didn't know and you're just joining us, Miguel Ortega from the West Side Arms, currently about 230-ish range, is going to be taking on Mr. Carl Gerke, best of 5 right-handed, at the East versus West qualifier Battle of the Brave 2, March 2nd, coming up. Now, if you've pulled either of these guys, it's 2 of the best that Arizona has harbored. Now, clearly, Carl is not living currently in Arizona. I believe he's on the California side, but we do see him often. He does compete in the Highland Games, which is at the Battle of the Brave. So he'll be in the house. I believe Miguel was there last year at the Battle of the Brave, but didn't compete. He was supporting his teammates, Mr. Kirby, Juan, and I'm not sure, maybe Tito competed. I don't remember 100%. But nonetheless, that's definitely a match that I would love to see. I will instigate the shit out of that match because that's a great time. That is, I mean, styles make matches, and that's going to be a great style. Now, I will say I think Carl probably has the advantage. I do think Carl is a little bit taller, longer. I would say maybe works out, trains. I don't know. I don't really know. The way that Carl trains is very specific, and it's for strength. And Miguel trains a lot of pulley stuff, arm wrestling related, pulls on the table with his guys. And they've both been in the game a very long time. I think both of them plus 10 years. I know that Miguel's got like almost 13 years. I don't know too much about Carl. Hopefully when he gets on here, we can pick his brain a little bit, but we're talking about some serious inside power. One guy who's got a lot of drag hook pressure in Carl, where he hits side and pulls back towards him with a little bit of pronation, but it's not really It's not really a top roll so much as it is just a hook with pronation to the side. And then you've got Miguel, who is shoulder forward, hook, hold, kind of puts all that pressure on the inner elbow, forces the shoulder in, a lot of neck pressure. And, dude, I mean, it could be a straight war. I'm very interested in round one, obviously. I'm very interested, once again, like you've heard me say in every one of these matches, who would have the strap advantage. I can only imagine Carl's going to have the hand advantage in round one when they slip. I'm going to guess Miguel's going to go straight to the straps, try to get it straight to the money so he can use his body and his arm, fall on Carl's arm. But who knows, man? Miguel's been talking a lot about how he's been working his top roll. I don't know whether or not that's the ace move against someone like Carl, how strong Carl is. Couple chats here. Arm Sports Entertainment, tell him to show up at 2:30, end of story. If you guys didn't know, Miguel also called Tim out and wants that match. So if that's the case, Tim says right there, catch weight, show up at 2:30. I don't know whether Miguel has interest in making a 220 weight class or anything like that, but would have been something I would have asked him tonight. And then Stephen Mill, my Stefan. I'm gonna start calling you Stefan because it seems like we fucked your name up. I'm sorry if we did, sir. My prediction for my matches: left-handed me 5-0 or 5-0 both. Got you. Carl's the one. I tore my bicep off when I first started Carl's the one I tore my bicep off with when I first started arm wrestling. Holy shnikes. I believe that's Stephen Olmstead, who, if you've ever arm wrestled Stephen Olmstead, that's like a literal tree, like a refrigerator of sized human being. So that's some power from Carl Gerke. I'm saying telling him to show up tomorrow at 2:30. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the West Side comes. They know about the matches, I'm pretty sure. That'd be cool. If anybody from West Side's watching, Juan, Tito, I think Aaron Barden is now a West Side member. Tell you guys, come through tomorrow, 2:30. Practice starts at 4. We'll get it popping. I would love to have a united practice again and have everybody under one roof. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be so great. Carl, where are you at, man? I don't know if he's watching. I don't know if he's going to make it. Let's see. He does have a baby. He's playing daddy, I guarantee it. But we'll give it another 5 or 6 minutes here to see if we can't get him on. And if not, then we'll go ahead and end this. If anybody has any questions about tomorrow, about the live chat, about the rankings, please, now's your time. Go ahead and feed that up in the chat now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat tomorrow's match order one more time so everybody is under the same page. Stefan versus Dino left-handed to begin with. And that's a left-handed match. Mikhail versus Cody left-handed, best of 5. But everything's best of 5. Steven versus Dino, Mike versus Cody. Then you've got Octavian versus Cambrell, who we both heard from tonight. Very excited about that match. We're going to then move on to the right hand. Then that will be Jesus Mata versus John Carlson. This is Jesus, the number 5, getting challenged by John Carlson, the number 8. So definitely could be some rankings changed tomorrow on that. Couple minutes, Carl Gerke says. Awesome. So we'll wait for Carl. We'll get him on here. After Jesus and John, we've got Johnny versus Nathan, or Johnny versus Nathan. And that is going to be for a ranking spot as well, because I believe those guys are going to end up are going to be in the same weight class. Give me one sec. Johnny is number 7. Nathan is not on the list. So we are going to have a potential additive, well, for sure an added name to the 242, 221, but potentially a move if Nathan comes through, which will be huge. This guy never comes to practice. He's been sitting in his garage working on cars and just comes and smashes. The dude's hand is just so big. It's so big. It's crazy. So shout out to Nathan Brown. That's going to be for the number 7 spot in the 242 to 221s, right-handed. After that one, we got Mike versus Cody, which is also for a ranking spot. That's Cody number 13 challenging for Mike, the number 9 spot. Love to see that. Holy shnikes. Jesse Halleck in the chat. What's going on, brother? Hope everything is good with you. Saw your flat tire with the trailer. Sucks, but I love you, and I hope you're doing well, man. Would love for you to come through tomorrow, 2:30 if you're interested for matches, 4 o'clock if you want to do some after pulls. And then after Mike versus Cody, we got Big Ben, who we heard from tonight, Mr. Armed Combat himself versus Stefan right-handed. That's best of 5. That is going to be the number 8 and number 9. Ben being number 8, Stefan being number 9. Steve West says, Jesse, we miss you. We sure do. Dude, I lost weight too, Jesse. I'm 213 right now, bro. Edo versus John. This is now we're going to be done with the right-handed with Ben and Stefan. We're going to move on to Edo versus John left-handed. That's going to be a best of 5, and that's going to be the big match. That's going to be one of the big matches. That's co-main. Then we go to main event, which is also left-handed. Marcus Evers versus Reagan, the Juggernaut. If you've never pulled either one of them left-handed, they are some of the best left hands in the state, pound for pound. So lots and lots and lots in Texas right now, but would love to be at the next practice. Love to hear it. We miss you. We love you, Jesse. Like I said, tomorrow's going to be a ton of left-handed killers. So if you do get a chance to come with a strong left tomorrow's the day to do it. I do have the one, the only Mr. Gurkey himself. What up, baby? Can you hear us? We can.
Yeah, I got you.
There he is. How's life, Mr. Carl?
Well, I'm at a techno concert right now, so
Oh,
I'm gonna
nice.
be brief.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you. Unfortunately, of course, your opponent, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Miguel is kind of like you. He's at like a festival, so he's not going to be able to make it. But we did want to hear some from you a little bit. Predictions on your match, how you're feeling, what you're thinking. You guys are planning on meeting at the Battle of the Brave, right?
Yeah. So I got a couple things. March 2nd, right?
Yeah.
So the last time I pulled Miguel, you got me, right? You hear me? Yeah, so I've been drinking all day. So, we're a little hot.
All good. All good. I love it. I love it.
So the last time I pulled Miguel was 2015, 2016 in competition. I smoked him.
Okay.
But there are qualifiers to that. He was so fucking drunk. The dude didn't have his eyes open. He was on. Joanna will back me up on this. He was so drunk. He was just like, just fucking stake up. Just fucking. I'm like looking at Dustin, like, bro, like this dude is. So if he comes up that drunk, and I plan on bringing a bottle of alcohol to get him that drunk, so I'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the good strategy right there. But no, that doesn't sound like a myth. That definitely sounds like a possibility. But I mean, now that's some time. That's 6-7 years. A lot has changed since then. I talked a little bit about your guys' styles and how they match up against each other. But what do you think as far as the match goes on the count wise? Who do you see? Who do you think has the strap advantage? That kind of stuff.
So who's reffing?
I believe it is either going to be Dustin or it might be Reza. I'm not sure.
Oh, Reza. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
So,
right?
Here's the thing with Miguel, and people don't realize this because Miguel is a shifty fool.
He
So
is.
Miguel sets up caddy corner to the end. So he'll set up like this.
Yes.
So the thing I've always told people about Miguel is you got to eliminate his ability to like get there because his straight wrist is like this. So you're bent back like that, right?
Yeah.
I told Tony this, but he whatever tore his bicycle. So my biggest thing with Miguel is making him just straight up. Gotta get him he's gotta get into the hook like slowly. He can't get this pronated thing in the air like Wayne pushes him out. So just do what Wayne does, and you've got a chance, right?
Yeah. So you would be trying to take his hand then.
Oh yeah. I mean Miguel is stupid inside. Like you saw him against Sid and fucking Freddie and all those Mexican bros.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a solid inside. I mean, do I want to try? Kinda. I mean, why not?
That's
So-
why we love you.
Yeah, so you gotta kind of try. But yeah, I mean, I just pulled a guy 2 days ago, a Turkish dude at my house, who very similar style. And what that told me was, do not go inside with Miguel.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, I gotta go inside with Miguel. I just gotta try it because
Yeah.
we were at your the Margaritaville or whatever that bar was fucking called.
Yeah.
He was like, after Joseph, which is a dick move. He was like, let me take you into the spot, into my strong. Like, all right, fucking try it. And I'm like, oh shit, I can like hold you there for a second, but that's dangerous territory.
Yeah, no, for
And
sure.
then fucking Siberian Hammer. I'm just gapping on his name right. He comes up right after that and pulls me too. I'm like, you guys are such fucking dicks. Like
Rocco.
back to back to back to back. But
Yeah.
so no. So fucking Miguel. And I have been so I thought Miguel was gonna be on here because I just want to tell him this. It's like, Miguel, so maybe we'll watch this. Miguel, you and I have been friends for fucking a decade now, and I swear to God, every single time, like I've been to his house, I've watched Feist's house, I know Joanna really well, I know him really well, all his family. Every single time a dude from Mexico he's never fucking met before comes to Arizona and pulls me. He's like, all right, this is how you beat Carl. You got to this, and this. He cheers for the guy. I'm like, Miguel, I've been to your birthdays. I've been to the river with you, bro. Like, come on, give me a little, like,
He's put the
back,
wanted poster out for you.
Yeah, I've been pulling with you and Wayne for fucking until I moved, obviously, for like 6 years. Like,
Yeah.
come on, give me some love.
Yeah,
so I was
man.
like subtly talking shit online, hoping
Absolutely.
this would happen. Just like, so here we are. So like, I love Miguel. It'll be fun. If I take his hand, I feel like I got a good chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
Do you
gives
see
up
it-
his hand too. Like I've seen some of his polls with these Mexican guys, and like he's all inside. But I feel like one of his moves I adopted because it was so fucking good. Even Todd Hutchins told him like that is a good fucking move. So I'm gonna do it back to him if I get in that position. And like, if I break my arm, fuck it, I'll break my arm. What are you doing?
Do you see this going to the straps?
Yeah, I mean, I think it should go. He shouldn't let me not go to the straps. in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, if he's just gonna try to hold on to me, awesome, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking have him. I don't want to hold on to me. Like,
No.
that's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, people in California do that all the time. I'm like, you're dumb. Like, just fucking slip. Like, I have a stronger hand than you. Like, I'm going outside. Just slip. Go to the
Yeah,
steps.
I think stylistically, I can see you going outside and taking his hand and kind of forcing him to make the decision to slip or make some kind of weird adjustment or maneuver, which will then put him. I think he'll be stronger in the straps, but I do think that I still think you would still probably have the advantage when it comes to the straps. You're also a little bit taller. Do you guys? Have you talked about weight at all? Do you guys care about that, or is it just where you guys fall, you die?
So, no, we haven't talked about that at all. I'm just going to be 230 for the East vs. West thing.
Okay.
So the 10 beers I've drank so far aren't helping, but,
Yeah.
I'll be there. But no, weight doesn't mean anything to me. I don't give a shit about that. I mean, I broke my hand this last year, so 2023 was all broken hand, Carl. So I think I'm
Right
getting
hand?
that back. So I don't think my hand is as good as it could be. Like, I'm definitely not as strong as I've ever been.
Right hand?
But, yeah, right hand.
Okay.
So my right arm is definitely not as strong as it ever been, but I think I'm solid. I think I got a chance. I mean, I've been pulling Miguel, so I started March 2014. Yeah, that sounds about right. March 2014. And then I was like, this fucking sucks. Arm wrestling's gay. This shit, it hurts. And then so I came back, and the first practice back after like 3 months was at Miguel's house. And he was like, oh, dude, you're going to be fucking solid. And then he's being a dick and just saying that, that type of thing. And then we pulled the Europa and all sorts of shit that used to be there. But yeah, I've known Miguel forever. And like, I pulled him twice in competition, maybe 3 times. And the first time I beat him, and he came up to me and he was like, no, that wasn't the first time. But one of the first few times I pulled him in competition, he was like, what the fuck are you taking, bro? Like, you don't have to be on steroids. And I was like, I don't know. I just got my hormones figured out. I'm not on gear or anything.
Yeah.
So We're waiting till after kids till I get on gear. And the second I get on gear, I swear to God, you guys are in trouble.
Well, it makes me really excited to know that it's been a little bit of time since you guys have met in competition, because I think you guys have both grown so much, and you guys are at such the top of your guys's states and levels now that technically it's going to probably look a lot different than it did in 2016. Strength wise, maybe not so much, but I think technically it will look a lot of difference. Now, what you said earlier, are you planning on pulling the tournament as well after your super match?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know who's going to pull it. So
I was about to tell you.
All right, tell me who's going to pull it.
I was about to tell you. So be planning on meeting a few guys from out of state who I'm almost positive are going to be coming. One, Caleb Ricks.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, who's pretty nasty, both hands, left and right. He just went to California, and he did post in the Facebook that he was planning on doing weigh-ins and things like that. And then I have a little birdie that told me that someone from Texas, Mr. Why am I spacing on his name? Michael Bedwell.
I pulled him.
Yes. You've pulled Michael Bedwell before?
Yeah. He came to Eric's years ago. Obviously, I've been out in Arizona for years. But he came. Yeah, he was strong. Cool. Yeah, I don't know how well I'll do right-handed. Obviously, I have a super match. But left-handed, I'm feeling pretty solid right now. I was hoping Edo would be there.
Yeah.
So I could smoke him and be like, take his rating on Aries. Because he's ranked like 60 points ahead of me. And I'm just like, God damn it. I just can't get a fucking break with this ranking system.
Oh,
I
damn.
just lose to the same people in California.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, are you you're in California right now? You're not on the Arizona side, are you?
What was that? One more time?
You're in Cali, right?
Yeah. SoCal, San Diego. So I pull all these guys down here. My list is getting shorter, but it's still a pretty long list of people I have to beat. But I beat Partington in November. So next on my list is, well, I guess Miguel is there, and then Eric, then Wayne, up here. So we'll see how the next few months go.
Well, thank you for joining us, Carl. We'll let you get back to your concert, brother. We're looking forward to seeing you on March 2nd. Thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah, peace out, man.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We got to hear from one half of the super match. It was a great time tonight. I'm really excited for tomorrow. I got to be up early tomorrow for my Gilbert Farmers Market. And then I got to clean my backyard for all you fools, because we might end up opening it up if it gets big enough. If you're on with us still and you plan on coming tomorrow, if you got straps or tables, please bring them. We are super filled to the brim as far as the super matches goes. So I'm going to be crossing my T's and dotting my I's on my P's and Q's when it comes to making sure that everything goes as quickly as possible so we can have a real big practice. Once again, if you got any questions, feel free to DM me. But when it comes to this ranking stuff and the understanding, please, I don't want to keep repeating myself when it comes to this, and I don't want to be involved in every single person's match obligations. It's too much for me. It's too heavy on me. So it's the reason why I made those rules, and I made that very clear. So please, as a community, let's help each other. If you notice somebody has got the wrong idea about the rankings and you know better, educate them, tell them better, talk about it. If you're going to be involved in it, let's do this together so that there's not so much pressure on me, because the last time we did these super matches, I got super burnt out, and that's the reason why they didn't continue. And I don't want that same thing to happen. I'm really excited about tomorrow, though, so I don't think that's going to happen as long as we're all doing our part, right? So tomorrow I'll be your head ref. Edo will be your down ref. Unfortunately, Scott West is sick, so he's not going to be able to make it. Then it looks like maybe we will be blessed with Mr. Talmadge's presence, and we can potentially get him to help us out with the co-main in the main event. But nonetheless, bring your strong arm, eat a big breakfast, shoot me a text if you got any questions. Don't come to my house any earlier than 1:29, or else I'm going to kick you out. But I'm excited to see you guys tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing if you did. Thanks for liking if you did. It's growing. Arizona Arm Wrestling makes me smile every day. My heart's full, baby. Have a good night, y'all.